Britney Jean Spears, born December 2, 1981, is an American singer. Often referred to as the Princess of Pop, she is credited with influencing the revival of teen pop during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Spears has sold over 150 million records worldwide, making her one of the world's best-selling music artists. She has earned numerous awards and accolades, including a Grammy Award, 15 Guinness World Records, 6 MTV Video Music Awards, 7 Billboard Music Awards, including the Millennium Award, the inaugural Radio Disney Icon Award, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Her heavily choreographed music videos earned her the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. After appearing in stage productions and television series, Spears signed with Jive Records in 1997 at age 15. Her first two studio albums, Baby One More Time, 1999, and Oops! I Did It Again, 2000, are among the best-selling albums of all time and made Spears the best-selling teenage artist of all time. With first-week sales of over 1.3 million copies, Oops! I Did It Again held the record for the fastest-selling album by a female artist in the United States for 15 years. Spears adopted a more mature and provocative style for her albums Britney, 2001, and In the Zone, 2003, and starred in the 2002 film Crossroads. She was executive producer of her fifth studio album, Blackout, 2007, often referred to as her best work. Following a series of highly publicized personal problems, promotion for the album was limited, and Spears was involuntarily placed in a conservatorship. Subsequently, Spears released the chart-topping albums Circus, 2008, and Femme Fatale, 2011, the latter of which became her most successful era of singles in the U.S. charts. With 3 in 2009 and Hold It Against Me in 2011, Spears became the second artist in history to debut at number 1 with 2 or more songs on the Billboard Hot 100. She embarked on a 4-year concert residency, Britney, Piece of Me, at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas to promote her next 2 albums Britney Jean, 2013, and Glory, 2016. In 2019, Spears' legal battle over her conservatorship became more publicized and led to the establishment of the #FreeBritney movement. In 2021, the conservatorship was terminated following her public testimony in which she accused her management team and family of abuse. In the United States, Spears is the 4th best-selling female album artist of the Nielsen SoundScan era, as well as the best-selling female album artist of the 2000s. She was ranked by Billboard as the 8th biggest artist of the 2000s. Spears has had 6 number 1 albums on the Billboard 200 and 5 number 1 singles on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, Baby One More Time, Womanizer, 3, Hold It Against Me, and S&M Remix. Other hit singles include Oops! I Did It Again, I'm a Slave for You, Toxic, Gimme More, and Piece of Me. Baby One More Time was named the greatest debut single of all time by Rolling Stone in 2020. In 2004, Spears launched a perfume brand with Elizabeth Arden Incorporated. Sales exceeded $1.5 billion as of 2012. Forbes listed Spears as the world's highest-paid female musician in 2001 and 2012. By 2012, she had topped Yahoo's list of most searched celebrities 7 times in 12 years. Time named Spears one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2021. Spears placed first in the Time Reader poll. Life and career. 1981 to 1997, early life, family, and career beginnings. Britney Jean Spears was born on December 2, 1981, in Macomb, Mississippi, the second child of James Jamie Purnell Spears and Lynn Irene Bridges. Her maternal grandmother, Lillian Portal, was English and born in London, and one of Spears' maternal great-grandfathers was Maltese. Her siblings are Brian James Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears. Born in the Bible Belt, where socially conservative evangelical Protestantism is a particularly strong religious influence, she was baptized as a Southern Baptist and sang in a church choir as a child. As an adult, she has studied Kabbalist teachings. On August 5, 2021, Spears announced that she had converted to Catholicism. Her mother, sister, and nieces Maddie Aldridge and Ivy Joan Watson are also Catholic. However, on September 5, 2022, after Spears' ex-husband, Kevin Federline, and youngest son did an interview defending her father's actions during her conservatorship, she stated, "I don't believe in God anymore because of the way my children and my family have treated me. There is nothing to believe in anymore. I'm an atheist, y'all." At age 3, Spears began attending dance lessons in her hometown of Kentwood, Louisiana, and was selected to perform as a solo artist at the annual recital. Aged 5, she made her local stage debut, singing What Child Is This? At her kindergarten graduation. During her childhood, she also had gymnastics and voice lessons and won many state-level competitions and children's talent shows. In gymnastics, Spears attended Bela Karolyi's training camp. She said of her ambition as a child, "I was in my own world. I found out what I'm supposed to do at an early age." When Spears was 8, she and her mother Lynn traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, to audition for the 1990s revival of the Mickey Mouse Club. Casting director Matt Casella rejected her as too young, but introduced her to Nancy Carson, a New York City talent agent. Carson was impressed with Spears' singing and suggested enrolling her at the Professional Performing Arts School. Spears was hired for her first professional role as the understudy for the lead role of Tina Denmark in the off-Broadway musical Ruthless. She also appeared as a contestant on the popular television show Star Search and was cast in a number of commercials. In December 1992, she was cast in the Mickey Mouse Club alongside Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, and Kerry Russell. After the show was canceled in 1994, she returned to Mississippi and enrolled at McCombs Park Lane Academy. Although she made friends with most of her classmates, she compared the school to the opening scene in Clueless, with all the cliques. "I was so bored. I was the point guard on the basketball team. I had my boyfriend, and I went to homecoming and Christmas formal. But I wanted more." In June 1997, Spears was in talks with manager Lou Pearlman to join the female pop group Innocence. Lynn asked family friend and entertainment lawyer Larry Rudolph for his opinion and submitted a tape of Spears singing over a Whitney Houston karaoke song along with some pictures. Rudolph decided that he wanted to pitch her to record labels, for which she needed a professional demo made. He sent Spears an unused song of Toni Braxton. She rehearsed for a week and recorded her vocals in a studio. Spears traveled to New York with the demo and met with executives from 4 labels, returning to Kentwood the same day. 3 of the labels rejected her, saying that audiences wanted pop bands such as the Backstreet Boys and the Spice Girls, and there wasn't going to be another Madonna, another Debbie Gibson, or another Tiffany. 2 weeks later, executives from Jive Records returned calls to Rudolph. Senior Vice President of A&R Jeff Fenster said about Spears' audition that it's very rare to hear someone that age who can deliver emotional content and commercial appeal. For any artist, the motivation, the eye of the tiger, is extremely important. And Britney had that. Spears sang Houston's I Have Nothing, 1992, for the executives, and was subsequently signed to the label. They assigned her to work with producer Eric Foster White for a month. He reportedly shaped her voice from lower and less poppy delivery to distinctively, unmistakably Britney. After hearing the recorded material, President Clive Calder ordered a full album. Spears had originally envisioned Sheryl Crow music, but younger, more adult contemporary. She felt secure with her label's appointment of producers, since it made more sense to go pop, because I can dance to it, it's more me. She flew to Cheiron Studios in Stockholm, Sweden, where half of the album was recorded from March to April 1998, with producers Max Martin, Danae Eyes Pop, and Rami Yacoub, among others. 1998 to 2000, Baby One More Time and Oops, I Did It Again. After Spears returned to the United States, she embarked on a shopping mall promotional tour, titled L'Oreal Hair Zone Mall Tour, to promote her upcoming debut album. Her show was a 4-song set and she was accompanied by 2 backup dancers. Her first concert tour followed, as an opening act for NSYNC. Her debut studio album, Baby One More Time, was released on January 12, 1999. It debuted at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and was certified 2 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America after a month. Worldwide, the album topped the charts in 15 countries and sold over 10 million copies in a year. It became the biggest-selling album ever by a teenage artist. Spears performing during her L'Oreal Hair Zone Mall Tour in 1998. Baby One More Time was released as the lead single from the album on September 29, 1998. Originally, Jive Records wanted the associated music video to be animated. However, Spears rejected this idea and suggested the final concept of a Catholic schoolgirl. The single peaked at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, topping the chart for 2 consecutive weeks in January, February 1999. It sold more than 10 million copies, making it one of the best-selling singles of all time. Baby One More Time later received a Grammy nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. The title track also topped the singles chart for 2 weeks in the United Kingdom and became the fastest-selling single ever by a female artist, shipping over 460,000 copies. It would later become the 25th most successful song of all time in British chart history. Spears is the youngest female artist to have a million seller in the UK. The album's third single, You Drive Me Crazy, became a top 10 hit worldwide and further propelled the success of the Baby One More Time album. The album has sold 30 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time. It is the best-selling debut album by any artist. On June 28, 1999, Spears began her first headlining Baby One More Time tour in North America, which was positively received by critics. It also generated some controversy due to her racy outfits. An extension of the tour, titled You Drive Me Crazy Tour, followed in March 2000. Spears premiered songs from her upcoming second album during the show. Oops! I Did It Again, Spears' second studio album, was released in May 2000. It debuted at #1 in the US, selling 1.3 million copies, breaking the Nielsen SoundScan record for the highest debut sales by any solo artist. It has sold over 20 million copies worldwide to date, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time. Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone said that the great thing about Oops! Under the cheese surface, Britney's demand for satisfaction is complex, fierce, and downright scary, making her a true child of rock and roll tradition. The album's lead single, Oops! I Did It Again, peaked at the top of the charts in Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and many other European nations, while the second single, Lucky, peaked at #1 in Austria, Germany, Sweden, and Switzerland. The album, as well as the title track, received Grammy nominations for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, respectively. The same year, Spears embarked on the Oops! I Did It Again tour, which grossed $40.5 million. She also released her first book, Britney Spears Heart to Heart, co-written with her mother. On September 7, 2000, Spears performed at the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. Halfway through the performance, she ripped off her black suit to reveal a sequined flesh-colored bodysuit, followed by heavy dance routine. It is noted by critics as the moment that Spears showed signs of becoming a more provocative performer. Amidst media speculation, Spears confirmed she was dating NSYNC member Justin Timberlake. Spears and Timberlake both graduated from high school via distance learning from the University of Nebraska High School. She also bought a home in Destin, Florida. In her 2023 memoir, Spears revealed that she had an abortion during late 2000 while dating Timberlake after he said they were not prepared for parenthood. Spears called the abortion one of the most agonizing things I have ever experienced in my life. 2001 to 2002, Britney and Crossroads. Spears performing during her Dream Within a Dream tour. In January 2001, Spears hosted the 28th Annual American Music Awards, starred at Rock in Rio alongside NSYNC, and performed as a special guest in the Super Bowl 35 halftime show headlined by Aerosmith and NSYNC. In February 2001, she signed a $7 to $8 million promotional deal with Pepsi, and released another book co-written with her mother. A Mother's Gift, her third studio album, Britney, was released in November 2001, with a funkier sound inspired by hip-hop artists such as Jay-Z and the Neptunes. Britney debuted at #1 in the Billboard 200 and reached top 5 positions in Australia, the United Kingdom, and mainland Europe, and has sold 10 million copies worldwide. Stephen Thomas Erlewine of AllMusic called Britney the record where she strives to deepen her persona, making it more adult while still recognizably Britney. It does sound like the work of a star who has now found and refined her voice, resulting in her best record yet. It was nominated for the Grammy Awards for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for Overprotected, and in 2007 it was named one of the best albums of the preceding 25 years by Entertainment Weekly. The lead single, I'm a Slave for You, became a top 10 hit in several countries. Spears' performance of the single at the 2001 MTV Video Music Awards featured a caged tiger, wrangled by Bhagwan Antal, and a large albino python draped over her shoulders. It was harshly received by animal rights organization PETA, who claimed the animals were mistreated and scrapped plans for an anti-fur billboard that was to feature Spears. Jocelyn Vina of MTV summarized Spears' performance at the ceremony, saying, "Draping herself in a white python and slithering around a steamy garden." Setting, surrounded by dancers in zebra and tiger outfits, Spears created one of the most striking visuals in the 27-year history of the show. To support the album, Spears embarked on the Dream Within a Dream tour. The show was critically praised for its technical innovations, the piece de resistance being a water screen that pumped 2 tons of water into the stage. The tour grossed $43.7 million, becoming the second highest-grossing tour of 2002 by a female artist, behind Cher's farewell tour. Her career success was highlighted by Forbes in 2002, as Spears was ranked the world's most powerful celebrity. Spears also landed her first starring role in Crossroads, released in February 2002. Although the film was largely panned, critics praised Spears' acting, and the film was a box office success. Crossroads, which had a $12 million budget, went on to gross over $61.1 million worldwide. In June 2002, Spears opened her first restaurant, Nyla, in New York City, but terminated her relationship in November, citing mismanagement and management's failure to keep her fully apprised that in July 2002, Spears announced she would take a 6-month break from her career. However, she went back into the studio in November to record her new album. Spears' relationship with Justin Timberlake ended after 3 years. In November 2002, Timberlake released the song Crimea River as the second single from his solo debut album. The music video featured a Spears lookalike and fueled the rumors that she had been engaging in an affair, fueled by further rumors of possible relationships involving Timberlake's choreographer Wade Robson and Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst. Spears had initially denied the allegations of a possible affair involving Durst, despite the two being spotted together on multiple occasions, even claiming the two had a friendly connection, though in 2022, she later admitted to engaging in an affair with Robson. As a response, Spears wrote the ballad Every Time with her backing vocalist and friend Annette Ardani. 2003 to 2005, In the Zone and First 2 Marriages. Spears performing at the NFL Kickoff Live in September 2003. In August 2003, Spears opened the MTV Video Music Awards with Christina Aguilera, performing Like a Virgin. Halfway through they were joined by Madonna, whom they both kissed. The incident was highly publicized. In 2008, MTV listed the performance as the #1 opening moment in the history of MTV Video Music Awards, while Blender cited it as one of the 25 sexiest music moments on television history. Spears released her 4th studio album, In the Zone, in November 2003. She assumed more creative control by writing and co-producing most of the material. Vibe called it a supremely confident dance record that also illustrates Spears' development as a songwriter. NPR listed the album as one of the 50 most important recording of the decade, adding that the decade's history of impeccably crafted pop is written on her body of work. In the Zone sold over 609,000 copies in the United States during its first week of availability in the United States, debuting at the top of the charts, making Spears the first female artist in the SoundScan era to have her first 4 studio albums to debut at #1. It also debuted at the top of the charts in France and the top 10 in Belgium, Denmark, Sweden, and the Netherlands. The album produced 4 singles: Me Against the Music, a collaboration with Madonna, Toxic, which won Spears her first Grammy for Best Dance Recording, Every Time, and Outrageous. In January 2004, Spears married her childhood friend Jason Allen Alexander at a Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. The marriage was annulled 55 hours later, following a petition to the court that stated that Spears lacked understanding of her actions. In March 2004, Spears embarked on the Onyx Hotel tour in support of In the Zone. The tour was cancelled in June 2004 when she fell and injured her left knee during the music video shoot for Outrageous. She underwent arthroscopic surgery and wore a thigh brace for 6 weeks, followed by 8 to 12 weeks of rehabilitation. That year, Spears became involved in the Kabbalah Center through her friendship with Madonna. In July 2004, Spears became engaged to dancer Kevin Federline, whom she had met 3 months earlier. The romance was the subject of intense media attention, since Federline had recently broken up with actress Shar Jackson, who was still pregnant with their second child at the time. The stages of their relationship were chronicled in Spears' first reality show Britney and Kevin, Chaotic, which premiered on May 17, 2005, on UPN. Spears later referred to the show in a 2013 interview as probably the worst thing I've done in my career. They held a wedding ceremony on September 18, 2004, but were not legally married until 3 weeks later on October 6 due to a delay finalizing the couple's prenuptial agreement. Shortly after, she released her first perfume, Curious, with Elizabeth Arden, which broke the company's first-week gross for a perfume. In October 2004, Spears took a career break to start a family of greatest hits. My Prerogative, her first greatest hits compilation album, was released in November 2004. Spears' cover version of Bobby Brown's My Prerogative was released as the lead single from the album, reaching the top of the charts in Finland, Ireland, Italy, and Norway. The second single, Do Something, was a top 10 hit in Australia, the United Kingdom, and other countries of mainland Europe. In August 2005, Spears released Someday, I Will Understand, which was dedicated to her first child, a son named Sean Preston, who was born the following month. In November 2005, she released her first remix compilation, Be in the Mix, The Remixes, which consists of 11 remixes. 2006 to 2007, Personal Struggles and Blackout. Spears leaving court, surrounded in October 2007. In February 2006, pictures surfaced of Spears driving with her son, Sean, on her lap instead of in a car seat. Child advocates were horrified by the photos of her holding the wheel with one hand and Sean with the other. Spears claimed that the situation happened because of a frightening encounter with paparazzi and that it was a mistake on her part. The following month, she guest starred on the Will and Grace episode by Baby as closeted lesbian Amber Louise. She announced she no longer studied Kabbalah in May 2006, explaining, My baby is my religion. Spears posed nude for the August 2006 cover of Harper's Bazaar. The photograph was compared to Demi Moore's August 1991 Vanity Fair cover in September 2006. She gave birth to her second son, Jaden James, in November 2006. Spears filed for divorce from Federline, citing irreconcilable differences. Their divorce was finalized in July 2007, when the two reached a global settlement and agreed to share joint custody of their sons. Spears' maternal aunt Sandra Bridges Covington, with whom she had been very close, died of ovarian cancer in January 2007. In February, Spears stayed in a drug rehabilitation facility in Antigua for less than a day. The following night, she shaved her head with electric clippers at a hair salon in Tarzana, Los Angeles. She admitted herself to other treatment facilities during the following weeks. In May 2007, she produced a series of promotional concerts at House of Blues venues, titled the M+M's Tour. In October 2007, Spears lost physical custody of her sons to Federline. The reasons of the court ruling were not revealed to the public. Spears was also sued by Louis Vuitton over her 2005 music video Do Something for upholstering her Hummer interior in counterfeit Louis Vuitton cherry blossom fabric, which resulted in the video being banned on European TV stations. In October 2007, Spears released her fifth studio album, Blackout. The album debuted atop the charts in Canada and Ireland, at number 2 in the US Billboard 200, France, Japan, Mexico, and the United Kingdom, and the top 10 in Australia, South Korea, New Zealand, and many European nations. In the United States, it was Spears' first album not to debut at number 1, although she did become the only female artist to have her first 5 studio albums debut at the 2 top slots of the chart. The album received positive reviews from critics and had sold 3.1 million copies worldwide by the end of 2008. Blackout won Album of the Year at the 2008 MTV Europe Music Awards and was listed as the 5th best pop album of the decade by The Times. Spears performed the lead single Gimme More at the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards. The performance was widely panned by critics. Despite the criticism, the single enjoyed worldwide success, peaking at number 1 in Canada and within the top 10 in almost every country it charted. The second single, Piece of Me, reached the top of the charts in Ireland and reached the top 5 in Australia, Canada, Denmark, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. The third single, Break the Ice, was released the following year, and respectively reached numbers 7 and 9 in Ireland and Canada. In December 2007, Spears began a relationship with paparazzo Adnan Khalib. 2008 to 2010, Conservatorship and Circus. In January 2008, Spears refused to relinquish custody of her sons to Federline's representatives. She was hospitalized at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center after police that had arrived at her house noted she appeared to be under the influence of an unidentified substance. The following day, Spears' visitation rights were suspended at an emergency court hearing, and Federline was given sole physical and legal custody of their sons. She was committed to the psychiatric ward of Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center and put on 5150 involuntary psychiatric hold under California state law. The court placed her under a conservatorship led by her father, Jamie Spears, and attorney Andrew Wallet, giving them complete control of her assets. She was released 5 days later. The following month, Spears guest starred on the How I Met Your Mother episode 10 Sessions as receptionist Abby. She received positive reviews for her performance, as well as bringing the series its highest ratings ever. In July 2008, Spears regained some visitation rights after coming to an agreement with Federline and his counsel. In September 2008, Spears opened the MTV Video Music Awards with a pre-taped comedy sketch with Jonah Hill and an introduction speech. She won Best Female Video, Best Pop Video, and Video of the Year for Piece of Me. A 60-minute introspective documentary, Britney, for the Record, was produced to chronicle Spears' return to the recording industry. Directed by Phil Griffin, For the Record was shot in Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and New York City during the third quarter of 2008. The documentary was broadcast on MTV to 5.6 million viewers for the 2 airings on the premiere night. It was the highest rating in its Sunday night time slot and in the network's history. Spears performing on the Circus starring Britney Spears tour, March 2009. In December 2008, Spears' 6th studio album Circus was released. It received positive reviews from critics and debuted at number 1 in Canada, Czech Republic, and the United States, and within the top 10 in many European nations. In the United States, Spears became the youngest female artist to have 5 albums debut at number 1, earning a place in Guinness World Records. She also became the only act in the SoundScan era to have 4 albums debut with 500,000 or more copies sold. The album was one of the fastest-selling albums of the year, and has sold 4 million copies worldwide. Its lead single, Womanizer, became Spears' first chart topper on the Billboard Hot 100 since Baby One More Time. The single also topped the charts in Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Norway, and Sweden. It was also nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Dance Recording. In January 2009, Spears and her father obtained a restraining order against her former manager Sam Latvi, ex-boyfriend Adnan Kaleb, and attorney John Erdley, all of whom had been accused of conspiring to gain control of Spears' affairs. Spears embarked on the Circus starring Britney Spears tour in March 2009. With a gross of US $131.8 million, it became the 5th highest-grossing tour of the year. In November 2009, Spears released her second greatest hits album, The Singles Collection. The album's lead and only single, 3, became her 3rd number 1 single in the U.S. In May 2010, Spears' representatives confirmed she was dating her agent, Jason Trawick, and that they had decided to end their professional relationship to focus on their personal relationship. Spears designed a limited edition clothing line for Candies, which was released in stores in July 2010. In September 2010, she made a cameo appearance on a Spears-themed tribute episode of the television series Glee, titled Britney/Britney. The episode drew the highest Nielsen rating up to that point in the series' run, in the 18 to 49 demographic. 2011 to 2012, Femme, Fatale, and The X Factor. In March 2011, Spears released her 7th studio album, Femme Fatale. The album peaked at number 1 in the United States, Canada, and Australia, and within the top 10 on nearly every other chart. Its peak in the United States tied Spears with Mariah Carey and Janet Jackson for the 3rd most number 1s among women. Femme Fatale has been certified platinum by the RIAA, and as of February 2014, it had sold 2.4 million copies worldwide. Image of a blonde female performer wearing a white leotard and black fishnets. Spears performing on her Femme Fatale tour, August 2011. The album's lead single, Hold It Against Me, debuted atop the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Spears' 4th number 1 single on the chart and making her the 2nd artist in history to have 2 consecutive singles debut at number 1, after Mariah Carey. The 2nd single, Till the World Ends, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May, while the 3rd single, I Wanna Go, reached number 7 in August. Femme Fatale became Spears' first album in which 3 of its songs reached the top 10 of the chart. The fourth and final single, Criminal, was released in September 2011. The music video sparked controversy when British politicians criticized Spears for using replica guns while filming the video in a London area that had been badly affected by the 2011 England riots. Spears' management briefly responded, stating, "The video is a fantasy story featuring Britney's boyfriend, Jason Trawick, which literally plays out the lyrics of a song written 3 years before the riots ever happened." In April 2011, Spears appeared in a remix of Rihanna's song S&M that it reached #1 in the US later that month, giving Spears her 5th #1 on the chart. On Billboard's 2011 year-end list, Spears was ranked number 14 on the Artists of the Year, 32 on Billboard 200 Artists, and 10 on Billboard Hot 100 Artists. Spears co-wrote Whiplash, a song from the album When the Sun Goes Down, 2011, by Selena Gomez and The Scene. In June 2011, Spears embarked on her Femme Fatale tour. The first 10 dates of the tour grossed $6.2 million, landing the 55th spot on Pollstar's Top 100 North American Tours list for the halfway point of the year. The tour ended on December 10, 2011, in Puerto Rico after 79 performances. A DVD of the tour was released in November 2011. In August 2011, Spears received the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at the 2011 MTV Video Music Awards. The next month, she released her second remix album, Be in the Mix. The remix is Volume 2. In December 2011, Spears became engaged to her longtime boyfriend Jason Trawick, who had formerly been her agent. Trawick was legally granted a role as co-conservator, alongside her father, in April 2012. In May 2012, Spears was hired to replace Paula Abdul as a judge for the second season of the USA show of The X Factor, joining Simon Cowell, L.A. Reid, and fellow new judge Demi Lovato, who replaced Nicole Scherzinger. With a reported salary of $15 million, she became the highest-paid judge on a singing competition series in television history. However, Katy Perry broke her record in 2018 after Perry was signed for a $25 million salary to serve as a judge on ABC's revival of American Idol. Spears mentored the teens category. Her final act, Carly Rose Sonenklar, was named the runner-up of the season. Spears did not return for the show's third season and was replaced by Paulina Rubio. Spears appeared on the song Scream and Shout with will.i.am, which was released as the third single from his fourth studio album, #Willpower, 2013. The song later became Spears' sixth #1 single on the UK singles chart and peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Scream and Shout was among the best-selling songs of 2012 and 2013, with denoting sales of over 8.1 million worldwide. The accompanying music video was the third most-viewed video in 2013 on Vevo, despite the video being released in 2012. In December 2012, Forbes named her music's top-earning woman of 2012, with estimated earnings of $58 million. 2013 to 2015, Britney Jean and Britney, Piece of Me. Spears performing in 2014 during Britney, Piece of Me, a 2-year concert residency in Las Vegas. Spears began work on her 8th studio album, Britney Jean, in December 2012, and enlisted will.i.am as its executive producer in May 2013. In January 2013, Spears and Jason Trawick ended their engagement. Trawick was also removed as Spears' co-conservator, restoring her father as the sole conservator. Following the breakup, she began dating David Lucado in March. The couple split in August 2014. During the production of Britney Jean, Spears recorded the song Ooh La La for the soundtrack of The Smurfs 2, which was released in June 2013. On September 17, 2013, she appeared on Good Morning America to announce her 2-year concert residency at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, titled Britney, Piece of Me. It began on December 27, 2013, and included a total of 100 shows throughout 2014 and 2015. During the same appearance, Spears announced that Britney Jean would be released on December 3, 2013. In the United States, IT was released through RCA Records due to the disbandment of Jive Records in 2011, which had formed the joint RCA/Jive label group, initially known as BMG Label Group, between 2007 and 2011. Britney Jean became Spears' final project under her original recording contract with Jive, which had guaranteed the release of 8 studio albums. The record received a low amount of promotion and had little commercial impact, reportedly due to time conflicts involving preparations for Britney, Piece of Me upon its release. The record debuted at number 4 on the U.S. Billboard 200 with first-week sales of 107,000 copies, becoming her lowest-peaking and lowest-selling album in the United States. Britney Jean debuted at number 34 on the UK Albums Chart, selling 12,959 copies in its first week. In doing so, it became Spears' lowest-charting and lowest-selling album in the country. Work Bitch was released as the lead single from Britney Jean in September 2013. It debuted and peaked at number 12 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, marking Spears' 31st entry on the chart and the 5th highest debut of her career on the chart, and her 7th in the top 20. It also marked Spears' 19th top 20 entry and overall her 23rd top 40 single. The song marked Spears' highest sales debut since her 2011 number 1 single Hold It Against Me. Work Bitch debuted and peaked at number 7 on the UK singles chart. The song also peaked within the top 10 of the charts in Brazil, Canada, France, Italy, Mexico, and Spain. The second single, Perfume, premiered in November 2013. It debuted and peaked at number 76 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. In October 2013, she was featured as a guest vocalist on the song SMS, Bangers, by Miley Cyrus, from the latter's fourth studio album Bangers, 2013. On January 8, 2014, Spears won Favorite Pop Artist at the 40th People's Choice Awards at the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. In August 2014, Spears confirmed she had renewed her contract with RCA and that she was writing and recording new music for her next album. Spears announced via Twitter in August 2014 that she would be releasing an intimate apparel line called The Intimate Britney Spears. It was available to be purchased beginning on September 9, 2014, in the United States and Canada through Spears' Intimate Collection website. It was later available on September 25 for purchase in Europe. The company now ships to over 200 countries, including Australia and New Zealand. On September 25, 2014, Spears confirmed on Good Morning Britain that she had extended her contract with the Access and Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino to continue Britney, Piece of Me for 2 additional years. Spears began dating television producer Charlie Ebersol in October 2014. The pair were split in June 2015. On May 14, 2015, Spears released a single, Pretty Girls, with Iggy Azalea. It reached number 29 on the Billboard Hot 100 and charted moderately in international territories. Spears and Azalea performed the track live at the 2015 Billboard Music Awards from the Axis, the home of Spears' residency, to positive critical response. Entertainment Weekly praised the performance, noting Spears gave one of her most energetic televised performances in years. On June 16, 2015, Giorgio Moroder released the album Deja Vu, which featured Spears on Tom's Diner. The song was released as the 4th single from the album on October 9, 2015. In an interview, Moroder praised Spears' vocals and said she sounds so good that you would hardly recognize her. At the 2015 Teen Choice Awards, Spears received the Candies Style Icon Award, her 9th Teen Choice Award. In November 2015, Spears guest starred as a fictionalized version of herself on the CW series Jane the Virgin. On the show, she danced to Toxic with Gina Rodriguez's character. 2016 to 2018, Glory, continued Residency, and the Piece of Me tour. Spears performing during the Apple Music Festival at the Roundhouse in London in September 2016. In 2016, Spears confirmed via social media that she had begun recording her 9th studio album. On March 1, 2016, V announced that Spears would appear on the cover of its 100th issue, dated March 8, 2016, in addition to revealing 3 different covers shot by photographer Mario Testino for the Milestone publication. The V editor-in-chief, Stephen Gahn, said Spears was selected because of her status as an icon in the industry, and asked, "Who in our world did not grow up listening to her music?" In May 2016, Spears launched a casual role-play gaming application, Britney Spears, American Dream. The app, created by Glow Mobile, was made available through both iOS and Google Play. On May 22, 2016, Spears performed a medley of her past singles at the 2016 Billboard Music Awards. In addition to opening the show, Spears was honored with the Billboard Millennium Award. On July 15, 2016, Spears released the lead single, Make Me, from her 9th studio album, featuring guest vocals from American rapper G-Eazy. The album, Glory, was formally released on August 26, 2016. On August 16, 2016, MTV and Spears announced that she would perform at the 2016 MTV Video Music Awards. The performance marked Spears' first time returning to the VMA stage after her widely panned performance of Gimme More at the 2007 show 9 years earlier. Along with Make Me, Spears and G-Eazy also performed the latter's hit song Me, Myself and I. Spears appeared on the cover of Marie Claire UK for the October 2016 issue. In the publication, Spears revealed that she had suffered from crippling anxiety in the past, and that motherhood played a major role in helping her overcome it. "My boys don't care if everything isn't perfect. They don't judge me," Spears said in the issue. In November 2016, during an interview with Las Vegas blog, Spears confirmed she had already begun work on her next album, stating, "I'm not sure what I want the next album to sound like. I just know that I'm excited to get into the studio again and actually have already been back recording." In the same month, she released a remix version of Slumber Party as the second single from Glory, featuring Tinashe. She began dating Slumber Party's music video co-star Sam Asghari after the two met on SET. In January 2017, Spears received 4 wins out of 4 nominations at the 43rd People's Choice Awards, including Favorite Pop Artist, Female Artist, Social Media Celebrity, as well as comedic collaboration for a skit with Ellen DeGeneres for The Ellen DeGeneres Show. In March 2017, Spears announced that her residency concert would be performed abroad as a world tour, Britney, live in concert, with dates in select Asian cities. In April 2017, the Israeli Labour Party announced that it would reschedule its July primary election to avoid conflict with Spears' sold-out Tel Aviv concert, citing traffic and security concerns. Spears' manager Larry Rudolph also announced the residency would not be extended following her contract expiration with Caesars Entertainment at the end of 2017. On April 29, 2017, Spears became the first recipient of the Icon Award at the 2017 Radio Disney Music Awards. On November 4, 2017, Spears attended the grand opening of the Nevada Childhood Cancer Foundation Britney Spears campus in Las Vegas. Later that month, Forbes announced that Spears was the 8th highest-earning female musician, earning $34 million in 2017. On December 31, 2017, Spears performed the final show of Britney, Piece of Me. The final performance reportedly brought in $1.172 million, setting a new box office record for a single show in Las Vegas, and breaking the record previously held by Jennifer Lopez. Performances of Toxic and Work Bitch were recorded on earlier dates and aired on ABC's Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve to a record audience of 25.6 million. In January 2018, Spears released her 24th perfume with Elizabeth Arden, Sunset Fantasy, and announced the Piece of Me tour, which took place in July 2018 in North America and Europe. Tickets were sold out within minutes for major cities, and additional dates were added to meet the demand. Pitbull was the supporting act for the European leg. The tour ranked at 86th and 30 on Pollstar's 2018 year-end Top 100 Tours chart, both in North America and worldwide, respectively. In total, the tour grossed $54.3 million with 260,531 tickets sold, and was the 6th highest-grossing female tour of 2018, and was the United Kingdom's 2nd best-selling female tour of 2018. On March 20, 2018, Spears was announced as part of a campaign for French luxury fashion house Kenzo. The company said it aimed to shake up the jungle world of fashion with Spears' La Collection Memento No. 2 campaign. On April 12, 2018, Spears was honored with the 2018 GLAAD Vanguard Award at the GLAAD Media Awards for her role in accelerating acceptance for the LGBTQ community. On April 27, 2018, Epic Rights announced a new partnership with Spears to debut her own fashion line in 2019, which would include clothing, fitness apparel, accessories, and electronics. In July 2018, Spears released her first unisex fragrance, Prerogative. On October 18, 2018, Spears announced her second Las Vegas residency show, Britney, Domination, which was set to launch at Park MGM's Park Theater on February 13, 2019. Spears was slated to make $507,000 per show, which would have made her the highest-paid act on the Las Vegas Strip. On October 21, 2018, Spears performed at the Formula One Grand Prix in Austin, the final performance of her Piece of Me tour. 2019 to 2021, conservatorship dispute, #FreeBritney, and abuse allegations. Main article, Britney Spears conservatorship case. On January 4, 2019, Spears announced an indefinite hiatus and the cancellation of her Las Vegas residency after her father, Jamie, suffered a near-fatal colon rupture. In March 2019, Andrew Wallet resigned as co-conservator of her estate after 11 years. Spears entered a psychiatric facility amidst stress from her father's illness that same month. The following month, a fan podcast, Britney's Gram, released a voicemail message from a source who claimed to be a former member of Spears' legal team. They alleged that Jamie had cancelled the residency due to Spears' refusal to take her medication, that he had been holding her in the facility against her will since January 2019 after she violated a no-driving rule, and that her conservatorship was supposed to have ended in 2009. The allegations gave rise to a movement to terminate the conservatorship, #FreeBritney, which received support from celebrities including singers Cher, Paris Hilton, and Miley Cyrus, and the non-profit organization American Civil Liberties Union. On April 22, 2019, fans protested outside the West Hollywood City Hall and demanded Spears released. Spears said all was well 2 days later and left the facility later that month. The #FreeBritney movement in front of the Lincoln Memorial, 2021. In a May 2019 hearing, Judge Brenda Penny ordered a professional evaluation of the conservatorship. In September, Spears' ex-husband Federline obtained a restraining order against Britney's father, Jamie, following an alleged physical altercation between Jamie and one of her sons. Spears' longtime care manager, Jody Montgomery, temporarily replaced Jamie as her conservator that same month, which also saw a hearing where no decisions about the arrangement were reached. An interactive pop-up museum dedicated to Spears, dubbed The Zone, opened in Los Angeles in February 2020, though it was later suspended in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. She released Glory's Japanese-exclusive bonus track, Mood Ring, as a single, and debuted a new cover of the album to streaming and digital platforms worldwide in May 2020. In August, Jamie called the #FreeBritney movement a joke and its organizers conspiracy theorists. On August 17, 2020, Spears' court-appointed lawyer, Samuel D. Ingham III, submitted a court filing that documented Spears' desire to have her conservatorship altered to reflect her wishes as well as lifestyle, to instate Montgomery as her permanent conservator, and to replace Jamie with a fiduciary as conservator of her estate. 4 days later, Penny extended the established arrangement until February 2021. In November 2020, Penny approved Bessemer Trust as co-conservator of Spears' estate. Alongside Jamie, the following month, Spears released a new deluxe edition of Glory, which includes Mood Ring and new songs Swimming in the Stars and Matches. A documentary about Spears' career and conservatorship, Framing Britney Spears, premiered on FX in February 2021. Spears later revealed that she had seen parts of the documentary, stating that she felt humiliated by the perception of her that was presented and that she cried for 2 weeks following the initial broadcast. The following month, Ingham filed a petition to permanently replace Jamie with Montgomery as the conservator of Spears' person, citing a 2014 order that determined that Spears did not have the capacity to consent to medical treatment of any form. On June 22, 2021, shortly before Spears was set to speak to the court, the New York Times obtained confidential court documents stating that Spears had pushed for years to end her conservatorship. Spears spoke to the court on June 23, calling the conservatorship abusive. She said she had lied by telling the whole world "I'm okay and I'm happy," and that she was traumatized and angry. The court statement received widespread media coverage and generated over 1 million shares on Twitter, over 500,000 messages using the tag #FreeBritney, and more than 150,000 messages with a new hashtag referencing the court appearance, #BritneySpeaks. On July 1, Bessemer Trust asked the judge to allow them to withdraw from the conservatorship, saying that they had been misled and had entered into the arrangement on the understanding that the conservatorship was voluntary. The same day, Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bob Casey Jr. called on federal agencies to increase oversight of the country's conservatorship systems. Spears' manager of 25 years, Larry Rudolph, resigned on July 6 due to her intention to officially retire, and on that same day, it was reported that Ingham planned to file documents to the court asking to be dismissed. In a July 14 hearing, Judge Penny approved the resignations of Bessemer Trust and Ingham. The court also approved of Spears' request to hire attorney Matthew S. Rosengard to represent her. Rosengard informed the court that he would be working to terminate the conservatorship later that day. Spears publicly endorsed the #FreeBritney movement for the first time.